Hi, I'm Hyunwoo from TalkToMeInKorean.com. Let's talk about learning Korean and how to learn Korean effectively. When I meet people from Korea learning English or people from other countries learning Korean using our online lessons or other textbooks, I get this question all the time. What is the most important thing to do to improve my Korean or my English or my Chinese or things like that? And people also often ask me, if you had to choose one method that is more effective than other things, what would it be? So to answer that question, I would pick journal writing. Writing in your diary in Korean. Since you are Talk to Me in Korean viewers and also learning Korean, I would recommend writing in your journal every single day. So let me talk about why that works and how to do it. You write in your journal about things that you do, people that you know, people that you care about, and things that you want to do, your thoughts and ideas and your goals and stuff. So what I'm saying is the content of your journal entries really matters and will be very important to you and meaningful to you. So let's say you met a friend today and hung out. So what you want to say, what you would want to say if you were to actually do this, would be something like, I met a friend today. And how do you write that in Korean? It can be either 저는 오늘 친구를 만났어요 or 나는 오늘 친구를 만났다. There is this specific way of writing in your journal. We'll talk about that in a future video, so please subscribe to Talk to Me in Korean's YouTube channel for that video when it's out. So yeah, let's stick with the normal everyday conversation style. 저는 오늘 친구를 만났어요. You want to write that, but your current Korean knowledge or Korean skills are limited. So you only know how to say 친구, and that's fine. On day one, just knowing one word is enough. And then the next day, what you would do is you would think about your day and just reflect on what you did. Coincidentally, you also, on this day, you met another friend. So you want to say, I met a friend again today. But you still only know the word 친구 in Korean, and that's fine. At this stage, how few words you use or how incorrect your sentences are or how unnatural your sentence structure is doesn't really matter. What matters is that this experience has made you a little more curious. And being curious is all that matters at this stage, because if you're curious, you will want to look up a certain word. On day 3, you meet another friend and you write 친구. So let's say you've been doing this for 8 days and you've just only continued writing 친구 in your journal for 7 days. And then on day 8, you finally feel the urge to know, the urge to want to know how to say to meet a friend, and also even how to say that in the past tense. So you look up the word, the actual verb for to meet, 만나다. So you want to say that, and as you're about to write that down, you wonder, how do I write that in the past tense? How do I conjugate that? So you look that up. Only following a lesson plan and a curriculum made by someone else and actually being curious to know how to form a thought into a sentence are very, very different. Of course, there are many good things about following a lesson plan or a curriculum. You build your Korean knowledge in a more systematic way. But at the same time, if you're not curious, following a lesson plan doesn't really matter, because you don't know where to use that certain grammar point or where to use that word or how to use that or why you should use that. So for example, my son, who is turning 3 years old this year, whenever we're talking and he's telling me a story, when he's telling me a story and then he finds a word that he doesn't know yet, he stops mid-sentence and asks me, Daddy, what is that? Or what is this? And I give him the word, and then he will finish his sentence. And usually by the 4th time or the 5th time that he asks me about the same word, he gets it, because that was a word that he wanted to know in the first place. It's not a random word, right? The same thing. And of course, it would be ideal if this happened to you more naturally. Like if you were living in Korea, living overseas in Korea, and if you were talking to local people every single day, you would find yourself in these situations. So you don't have to worry about that if you were living in Korea and if you were talking to Korean people all the time in Korean. But for most people, for the millions of people who have studied with Talk to Me in Korean's online lessons and of course the textbooks, it's not easy to naturally find themselves in these situations where you would be curious. So this is one trick. You keep a journal in Korean and you naturally want to know. And this is also why we sometimes ask on Twitter, hey, what did you do today? Or what are you drinking now? Talk about it in Korean and let us know. And when we see people's participation, they sometimes tweak the sentences that we send out, and it's great because they're forming sentences about their life in their own ways. Of course, there are errors. Doesn't matter. The more mistakes you make, the better. All I'm saying is that if you can't find yourself every day in a natural setting where you will be forced to say a word in Korean or say a sentence in Korean, maybe you can create that opportunity for yourself by deciding to write in a journal every single day. And then you will start looking up words, you will start looking up grammar points in textbooks, and that's how you will grow. So it may not be one magical method to solve all the problems that you have in your Korean learning journey, but try doing this. If you're kind of late on your New Year's resolution mission, maybe this can be your belated New Year's resolution for 2017 or 2018, whenever you're watching this. And I certainly did this when I was learning English in high school. I used to do that all the time, and it helped me tremendously because I always wanted to write something a little longer than what I had written the previous day. So hope this helps. This is a simple tip, but I wanted to explain and give you some examples, and also tell us what you think about this kind of walking and talking type of video format. And if you like it, we'll do this more so that you can see more of Korea, not just me, in front of a white backdrop. And well, thank you for watching. And if you want to learn more Korean, please subscribe to Talk to Me in Korean's YouTube channel, and please visit our online bookstore at mykoreanstore.com to get our textbooks. Well, we'll see you next time then. Bye!